My name's Derek Scott. I'm an associate Salesforce consultant with Slalom. Back in 2012, I graduated college with an associate's degree in computer programming, and then wasn't able to use it. I ended up doing some other things in the military. I was a federal agent, so think NCIS, but for the Army. And when I got out, I landed in the concrete construction field and did that for a while, but realized it wasn't my passion. So I started looking back into IT and software and the whole tech industry. And a friend of mine that I was in the military with works for Salesforce and told me to come check out this awesome platform and all the stuff it has to offer. And here I am today. I wanted to get admin certified and start a career in the industry. I didn't really know where it would go from there, where I would start or anything like that, but I knew I wanted to be admin certified and I knew I wanted to switch into the Salesforce career path. So my drive or my goals are driven by success. So my success, the success of my family, my kids, my wife, and that's what kept me motivated. I knew I was doing this for not only myself for a better career path and a better well-being, but for my family. Absolutely, absolutely. So when I first started applying for roles in the Salesforce ecosystem, I had just landed my admin cert back in November. While I was applying and interviewing at different companies, I was able to obtain my UX designer cert. And I think the self-study and the ambition I showed and the technical aptitude I showed to go out and get those two certifications on my own before even landing a role inside the ecosystem really showed my current employer and other prospective employers that I was driven and I was ready to take this career by the horns and go with it. The admin cert is hard because you come from not knowing anything to learning, such a vast system. Salesforce is a huge, powerful platform, and there's a lot to learn to get that certification. But the Experience Cloud is a lot to learn for one specific thing, and there's so many different licenses and things that are involved in it. It was definitely the toughest one so far. After I got my UX designer cert, I immediately started studying for platform app builder. And when I was offered a role with Slalom, they told me that the first 5 weeks was going to be an academy specifically focused on platform app builder. So I figured, well, I might as well not self-study for that if they're gonna, help walk me through it. So I switched to Experience Cloud, and towards the end, for about the last month or so, I was dual studying for both at the same time. So I would wake up early in the morning. I wake up at about 4 a.m. and I do some self-study, some courses. I'd go to work and learn all about platform app builder. And then afterwards, I'd spend another 4 or 5 hours a night studying for Experience Cloud. So I was at 12, 13 hours a day studying for two certs at the same time. And that's tough to do, especially with a family and trying to keep, mental health and work-life balance in check. But yeah, the time is what it takes it, but it's probably the hardest part. Yeah. I work a little bit early before, most of the rest of my team is on, and I start by checking my emails, make sure I catch up on anything that was missed after I got off work the day before. So I start my morning working out of the case queue, and that involves a lot of administrator type work, user access, things like that to the system, password resets, permission sets. And then in the afternoon after lunch, I try to switch over to my tasks, and that's building more complex things in the system, building flows and reports and dashboards and things like that. And then sprinkled in there are a lot of meetings with clients and the team and make sure everybody's on the same page. So I don't know if I could have done it without Focus on Force, to be honest with you. I mean, first and foremost, just in general, Focus on Force is definitely helpful. It's the closest thing you can get to taking real Salesforce issued practice exams. It's exciting. I love the information. So I read through them over and over again until I know what the information is. So I used Focus on Force for all of them except UX Designer. For admin, I used both the study guide and the practice test. For Experience Cloud and Platform App Builder, I use mainly the practice tests. So I would go in right when I start off studying, and I'll take a Focus on Force practice test and kind of see where my knowledge level is, my base level. The team over there is awesome at building out the practice exams, excuse me. Absolutely. For a lot of reasons, you want to make sure that the information you're relaying or getting is coming across clear and you understand each detail of what you're setting out to achieve or what you're setting out to learn. And then in communication builds trust. If you have open communication with your team, your clients, whoever you're talking to, then you're building a relationship of trust, and your client, your team can count on you to come through when they need you to come through because you built that trust with them through open communication lines. I mean, it might sound really generic, but my biggest piece of advice is have fun. If you're trying to learn anything new, it's got to be something that's interesting to you, and you have to be having fun to do it. If it's not fun, then you're not going to retain the information. So have a good time. Realize that you're playing around in a platform that's making people's lives better, from end user customers to companies to your own as a Salesforce professional. So have a good time, get into a dev org, and everything you're learning, practice it, build some muscle memory, and play around, build your own apps, play with your own permissions, see what you can and can't do in the system, and have a good time. Please, if you guys ever need anything else or any help with anything, please reach out. I'm here and I love to give back and participate in the community. So